Hello guys, I'm Eneino, a former challenger ADC that coached multiple people to achieve their dream rank. And today I will teach you the best free builds that all my students used to achieve their dream rank, and you can do it as well. The first and the most broken build that made many people climb from bronze to platinum in a really easy way is Misfortune, and those are the runes that we're using. The concept of this build is to gather as much gold as you can. As you can see on the runes, we have First Strike, which gives you really free gold. Especially when you ult as Misfortune and you manage to get the right First Strike, you get a shit ton of gold that comes out of an hour. On top of that, we have cashback, so every time you close an item, you get even more additional gold. And that's the whole gimmick of this build. Here we are at the item section. So this build has no sustain in anywhere into the kit, so the best way to obtain lifesteal is to get the healing boots, which you can buy whenever you want or whenever you feel like you need healing. The first item of this build is Abris. Keep it in mind, guys, if you're playing below Masters, 99% of the times going Abris is the best item ever because the games are really long, and if you manage to snowball, this item is one of the best gold efficiency ratio into the game. You get basically an improved collector, and the more kills you get, the more AD you actually have during the game. After that, we're gonna go for Axiomark and starting to improve our crit from there. So Collector, Lord Dominic, Infinity Edge, and then a filler item that you want. Now, the second champion we're gonna talk about is Jinx. And Jinx is one of the best champions to climb low ELO and also high ELO right now. I'm currently climbing up for Challenger, and I'm mostly using this build that you're just seeing right now. So this build relies around using Doran's Bow instead of Doran's Blade, and you're gonna go for Alacrity, Double Adaptive Force. The most important thing about this build is that you can go for Inspiration to have the 5 stacks of Jack of all trades, or you can also go blue with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. This is entirely up to you. I will say that if you are below Diamond, going for blue is always better since the average length of the games is higher. Now, when it comes to the build, here's the full damage build that I actually decided to use in my games. We're going for Abris, full snowball potential, Collector, second full snowball potential, and then Lord Dominic Infinity Edge. From here, you can close 100% crit with Exoptics, go for another lethality item such as Voltaic. Voltaic is one of the best items with Jinx, because every spell of air just deals 3 times the damage. This item is ultra underrated on Jinx, both for spells and also air auto damage. Another tip that I can give you is you can skip Collector if you don't really need it, and you can go Abris, Infinity Edge, Lord Dominic instead. I would easily skip it and go for something else such as a Runance or a Phantom Dancer. This build doesn't have much attack speed, so you can easily shift the Collector with a Phantom Dancer or something like that, or a Runance. I will simply put it here so that you remember that you have this kind of decision that you can make here. Usually I would go Runance 3rd or 4th even. So in this way, Abris, Infinity Edge, Lord Dominic, Runance, then close the 100% crit with Exoptics, and go for Voltaic. This entirely depends on how the game goes and how snowbally you are. This is an example of a game that I just did in these days, especially in Grandmasters. I did 24 kills, and the highest crit was 1k 700 damage. Now, the third champion that I advise you to play is Kaylin. This is a really standard build. Usually, I like Doran's Blade a bit more on Kaylin, and so that's why we went for Bloodline here. Now, when it comes to Kaylin items, it's a really straightforward build, honestly. You simply want to go Exoptics, Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon, Lord Dominic, and then the Voltaic, which is, again, another broken item when it comes to damage. Once again, if you want to go for Alacrity, you go for these boots. But if you don't want to go for Alacrity, it heavily depends on the game, and you're going to decide. You can go for the slow ones, the attack speed ones. It doesn't really matter that much. The important thing is that you understand that in this case, you have to swap your build and play it in a different way. And those are the 3 champions that will make you climb out of low ELO. Just make sure to play them as much as you can, focus on one of them, and destroy everything that comes in your way.